We've seen a lot of bad products come from the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the last several years, especially in Phase 4 of the MCU. But maybe the worst of the worst, maybe the top of the pile of trash is She-Hulk Attorney at Law. This is something that when it came out on Disney+, and even before, people could tell with the marketing, they could tell with the messaging, they could tell with everyone involved in this project that it was going to be feminist propaganda, that it was going to be full of identity politics, and it was going to just be cringe, unfunny, and have terrible CGI. Well, everyone got exactly what they were expecting when it came to this show, and the fans hated it. They destroyed it. And despite the mainstream media and Disney's best efforts to try to push people into thinking it was good, fans just disagreed. 32% over on Rotten Tomatoes. But of course, that hasn't stopped Disney from still trying to push this. She-Hulk has been put forward for 19 Emmy Awards. MCU fans react with ridicule. They are being openly mocked for even trying, even pretending like this show deserves any type of award consideration. But as we always see when these things happen, when they get a massive backlash and pushback from the fans, you see people from the studio, actors, producers, whatever, speak out and try to defend the show. Well, Charlie Cox is someone who did exactly that. Charlie Cox, who came back and made his return as Daredevil in this series, which is just an abomination, to be quite honest with you. But he came out and defended the series. Charlie Cox defends She-Hulk for its silly and goofy approach to Daredevil. He said, you know what, if the show's not for you, then just watch something else. The same tired thing we hear time and time again. Well, now we're finding out, despite Charlie Cox defending the series, despite him defending his depiction, despite all of these things, he actually admitted that he hasn't watched the show, that he has never watched She-Hulk, that he doesn't know really what happened, that he doesn't quite understand how it came off to fans. He was just speaking out of his ass. After defending Daredevil's abominable She-Hulk Attorney at Law scenes, Charlie Cox admits he hasn't watched his She-Hulk episodes. And we talked about this over a year ago or whatever, whenever this show came out. We're trying to rub it from our memory, so I don't even exactly remember which date it was. But when it comes to the way Daredevil was portrayed, when it comes to the walk of shame that he did, when it comes to all of this stuff, people were actually cringing internally because this is a character they care so much about. And just to see what Marvel is going to do, the first time we see him, this is what we now know Marvel is going to do to his character. So I won't go over all of the defense that he ran for this show, but suffice to say he talked about it. He talked, it's a different take on the character. It's more silly, it's more goofy, it's more jokey. It kind of had to be that way. And if you don't like it, find something else to watch. You can't please all people all the time. If She-Hulk's not your thing, then don't watch it. Watch something else. Well, apparently, at least according to Charlie Cox, She-Hulk isn't his thing because he hasn't watched it. He's been watching other things. Now, during an appearance at ICC-Con in Nashville, Cox admitted he hasn't even viewed any She-Hulk Attorney at Law episodes that feature Daredevil. As reported by comicbook.com, Cox again attempted to justify the tone of the series. And so when She-Hulk came along, I read those scripts. I felt like it's a really good opportunity to try my hand at that tone with this character and see if I can remain true, but also find a side of him that's represented in the comics. Because the problem is, if you take the Daredevil we know from the other series, he becomes the butt of the joke. He's the serious one. So I didn't want that. I don't think he's that. I wanted to match Jennifer Waters a little bit, and that experiment was really fun. And I think people responded to that. I actually also haven't seen that episode. I've seen bits from when we do ADR treatment, which is the voiceover stuff. It seems fun. You know what I mean? But it was a really cool experiment to see if you could take that character without losing anything. It's also very true to life. So you have admitted, you've been defending the way that your character was depicted, but you haven't watched it. You don't actually know what it is. You don't actually know why people are reacting the way that they are. Maybe the fact that you continue to have to answer these questions about the tone, about how the fans didn't like it, maybe it's because they saw something while watching this show that you don't even understand, that you don't even know exists. But Charlie Cox has been out there defending this in what a lot of people think is a horrendous depiction of Daredevil, for a year now. He's been out there defending it, and now he finally admits he hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen his episodes of She-Hulk. He did some ADR, he did some voiceovers, and that's all. That's the extent that he's seen anything. And this is embarrassing, to be quite honest with you, but I think it goes a long way to show this is probably what a lot of these people that come out, a lot of these cast members, a lot of the actors, the producers, whatever, all these people involved that come out and say these things, they're not actually coming at it from a meaningful place. They're just out there to defend the brand so that they can get cast or they can get a job in the next thing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the fans spoke pretty loudly when it comes to She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and despite Charlie Cox's best efforts, it didn't really work out, and now he's even admitting he never even watched this garbage. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.